Hey everybody, this is Dimensions of the Supernatural. I am Maureen Grodzinski, otherwise known as a Little Witchy. I'm here with my great co-host, Anthony Simonelli, otherwise known as...
Hey, Miss Forget About It. How you doing tonight? Hey.
We have probably one of the most interesting topics that we have discussed as of yet. And we have a great guy here as our guest for the evening, and he has some really interesting things to show you. We met him at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, as most of you probably have if you're watching. This is going to be very interesting, what we have to show you tonight. So Jeff Witham is Jeff in his traveling boards. He travels with his trailer, and he has more Ouija boards or talking boards than you can possibly even imagine. Hi guys in the chat.
Wonder boards.
Wonder boards. They are wonderful boards. When we bring him in, we're going to do a little background, and we can fill you in on a little tidbit of information from the history of everything. But first, we'll bring him out. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Oh, you know, living the dream.
The dream.
Well, look, we have lots of new people tonight. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
So,
I can't see the chat tonight because my computer crashed and I'm on my cell phone. Back to the beginnings.
Back to the beginning, but you're not in the driveway.
No. This I upgraded from my car, being in my car, into a little cubicle in my bedroom here. So, it's a little bit upgraded. At least there's heat up here and there's a bathroom just in case I need it.
Well,
yeah.
We're doing a little bit better than we were at the beginning after over a year. So, Jeff, we were talking about how many you have countless boards. How many do you think you have?
I have over 180 boards total. That's including duplicates.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's absolutely amazing.
I don't know how many individual boards I have because I've never tried to count them all. I just know I have that in duplicates over 180 easily, and roughly about $35,000 invested.
Wow.
Yeah, I met you at the New Jersey Unity, Power Unity. Yes. And I walked around, you had your own little section there, and some of the boards are like, wow, it's the work of arts. They really are.
And
they're really work of arts.
A lot of the time is a beautiful piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
There are antique boards. There are very different customized boards. There are boards that were given to you by people. When I met you, I was kind of in awe over how different they are, because I think a lot of people think of like the typical Ouija board that you can buy in the store that says that they're made for 8 and up. We joke.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them that look like that.
That you can, vote
Very
at the
similar.
age of 18, but you could play with a demon at 8. Yes, that's the typical one.
Or that typical one. I got bored at the ready.
Right. So when we walked out to see your boards, and a lot of them were actually bolted to the walls in your trailer, there were some boards that were given to you, like from Nick Groff. It was a Death Walker board. There were some that were alien boards.
I bought that one on eBay.
Okay.
But it was signed by Nick Groff.
Okay. So Todd and Carmela are starting off by asking, how old is your oldest board and any attachments associated with them?
Well, that's actually a great question because it's right behind me. 1891 Kennard.
Okay, so
wow.
So that's what we were going to talk about from the very beginning. So that's great that came up. So spiritualism, and Anthony and I talk about this a lot with the Fox sisters. Spiritualism came from Europe and just blew up in 1848. Anthony, you want to talk about those Fox sisters a little bit?
Well, the Fox sisters were a pair of sisters. Well, two sisters that in 1848 they were living in Hyattville, New York, and they were in a house with their parents and stuff, and they started hearing knocking on the walls, and so the parents, of course, the father and the mother. Remember, it's 1848, so there's no flashlights or nothing. They had to light candles and stuff, and they walked around the house looking for stuff. It ended up that the girls got a way to communicate with the spirits. They called them Mr. Splitfoot, and it was knocking, and they started communicating with the dead, and the community found out about it, and of course the community went. They people started coming over because around that time it was right after the Civil War and everything, and there was people dying from different flus and stuff. So people wanted to communicate with their dead. So from them going there, and it just started building up with the spiritualism movement from that point on, and that's when well, Ouija boards go back before the Fox sisters, really. Ouija boards go back.
Go back to biblical times.
Yeah, biblical times. They found in Egypt amongst some of the relics and stuff. So it does go back. So they just took it one step and just put it, and people got more familiar with it. And then, like you said, then you could start telling the history of it from the from the first boards
Right.
being made. That's being put out to the public.
Right. So and actually Anthony and I, we met because of the Fox sisters, and we tell that story all the time. So when the first board that was patented by 4 men. They worked as a team. And it was done in February of 1891 in Pittsburgh by a toy and novelty shop. The very first board was $1.50. It was patented by Kennard Novelty Company, and they were the first to produce one, along with these 3 other men and this Mr. Kennard. Within 1 year, they had to open 7 more warehouses to keep up with the supply and demand of these boards. So that board that Jeff has is one of those boards. So from 1891 to 1892, they were mass producing these boards, and they didn't call them Ouija boards. They called them talking boards because they didn't use the word Ouija, but the word Ouija is not what people think it is. It wasn't yes. It was actually good luck. That's what the board told them it meant. So we have a lot of wrong information floating around out there, pun intended. But Jeff's boards are unbelievable and absolutely amazing. So he's going to do us a favor and show us what he has. His lovely assistant was supposed to be with us tonight, but that kind of went sideways as well. So we're going to be really patient with Jeff and give him a break and let him show us what he has and explain where they came from. And he has amazing stories behind all of it. And we're just going to kind of sit back and relax a little bit tonight, and we'll ask him some questions. And Jeff, we have a great comment section. They are fantastic. They ask a lot of questions, and I think you're going to really love them. So, it's a full moon tonight.
Oh, Thanks. Even better. No wonder why the craziers are out tonight.
It's
here.
it's in the wolf moon.
It's a wolf moon. Anthony's the wolf.
That's my spiritual guide. It's the wolves. So it's a wolf night.
It's a good board. Okay, so I will, if I see a question, since Anthony can't see the comments, I will read whatever I come up with, and we'll try to not interrupt anything. I'll kind of wait until there's like a pause. But Jeff said that he has a Ouija board that has a really interesting story behind it. So do you want to start with that?
Yeah, that's actually a great one to start with.
All right, let's go hard from the very beginning.
Let me grab it.
Yeah, every so often you're gonna see Jeff walk from his seat and come back with a Ouija board. I think it's gonna be a great topic tonight because Ouija boards always has, you know,
They have great stories.
yeah. I mean, I think they're still a good
well
piece
can
of
you guys
tool.
Can you
People
see it a little
think-
bit?
That looks good.
This one is a 1940 Swami talking board.
Ooh,
Swami? Wow.
Yes.
Swami talking board, kind of like a gin, maybe.
It was manufactured by Giftcraft at 666 Lakeshore Drive, Chicago, Illinois, in the 1940s.
666.
So I'm going to set that down for a second, and I'll tell you the story behind it,
Okay.
Yes.
which is a very kind of it's almost dark at the same time about this board. So I found it on an eBay auction, and I bought it. And right after I bought it, the guy writes to me and goes, "I hope you have the best of luck with this board. I never want to see it ever again. I hope you don't have cats because it doesn't like felines." If you go on our like page, you'll actually see the message he sent me on there as well. And while we were in New Jersey at the Unity, it got delivered to my grandmother's house because I knew I was going to be out of town. That night, my cat died in its sleep.
Oh,
Is it a coincidence that my cat was 20? Or was it the board? After the guy told me it hates felines.
oh shit.
It was my childhood cat. Like, I've had that cat for years.
I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
But could it bend the board? Could it just
Could
been
it
my
be?
cat's age? Or was it just a coincidence he passed away the same day that the board arrived?
It could be any one of those. It'd be a coincidence, but then it could also be because of the cat's age. But if there's some kind of spirit that didn't like cats, maybe cats at that age can't fight off too much stuff because they're old. So maybe it helped it.
Yeah, it's
That's
hard
crazy.
to tell. But the fact that it died the same day it arrived,
That's so sad.
it's still bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Especially when I got the message previously saying
He doesn't like
felines.
Oh,
Cats are very in tune with the supernatural also.
So
that's crazy.
So that's just just one of the craziest things that's happened since I've started owning boards.
Has anything else happened since then, or anything you noticed?
Ashley has blessed the board. She has bound it to that box, which we got to get a new box because that box is falling apart. She has done so much. She knows all what she does to them. She's the one that binds them, seals them, make sure if there is dark energy, it's not going to come out again.
What's the worst thing that's happened because that you think is related to the boards?
Well, we were actually just talking about it a few minutes ago before we came on. The Gettysburg Battlefield Bash water spout tornado.
Yeah. We were all there for that one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That one was really intense. Like,
we were all there on the deck, and then all of a sudden, nothing was on the deck.
Yeah, I was sitting there, and I'm looking down, and all I see is you had a canopy around your trailer.
Canopy, yeah.
All I see is that thing getting sucked up in the air and tossed. I don't know how many feet, but those cars that were in the middle, those brand new cars, it landed on top of them. They had
that one. I'm glad
it landed on top of there, and I was like, we're like, holy! And as it hit your thing, it came down where we were, and we had the canopy, because we're all sitting there drinking or whatever, and everything's blowing in the air, and
sideways.
Yeah, And I got up out of my chair. As soon as I got up out of my chair was taken. And what I'm more pissed about, it knocked my beer over. And I took my Cuban cigar down the end of the freaking thing there. It took that, and we all ran inside, and everything was just blown down the deck. It was like, holy shit, what just happened?
Jeff, he keeps talking about the cigars and the beer, but literally once his chair took off and we got him like inside, I brought all of his beer and all of his cigars inside, and he doesn't realize that at all.
That was the extra ones. That was the other ones. But I just lit up a cigar.
How
That
many
took
did you
off.
have? How much could
I,
you have?
I had about a dozen. Remember, they were selling cigars over there. It's getting cigars.
I brought everything
Yeah.
inside. Hi, Marco.
That was crazy. That was a crazy night.
So what
Yeah,
era should I start with? Like, should I start with the 1940s, the more recent ones?
How did you start this? Did it just one day you went out, bought a Ouija board, and say, "Hey, I like this," and continue buying them? And what was your first one?
Oh, my first one. Oh, let me pull that one out. Give me a second to find it.
What made you get into this? Like, everybody has a hobby or they have like a collectible item. What made you choose this?
I was not allowed to own a Ouija board or a talking board or a spirit board growing up. I was raised Christian. I wasn't allowed to even watch movies that had anything to do with anything magical, witches, warlocks, anything.
Were your parents super religious?
I grew up with my grandparents, and they were born in the 40s.
Okay.
And they were so religious of my upbringing. I wasn't even allowed to watch a cartoon if there was a magician in it. It was like that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, I wasn't even like, I know this might sound weird, but like, there was remember Care Bears back in the 80s, how big it was?
Mm-hmm.
They had one episode, there was a warlock in it, and I was not allowed to even able to watch that one episode when I was at 5.
Wow.
That's how strict my grandparents were.
So you couldn't watch Smurfs because of Gargamel or anything like that?
No.
Oh, wow.
It was very strict, very religious, very church this, church that. I have nothing against churches, but I don't go anymore. But
so they just totally turned you against everything because they were such zealots over everything.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, buddy.
My dog decided to come join the live tonight, I guess.
We're very laid back.
Am I freezing up over here? Is that me freezing up?
No.
Looks
like you're moving.
You've slowed down a little bit.
We're breaking up again.
You're okay.
But Ashley actually bought me one of my very first Ouija boards. And that's actually upstairs hanging on the wall. But then we went to the Salem Witchboard Museum in Salem. And I
Anthony's gone.
Buying a 1940s Mystic board made by the Haskell Manufacturer Corporation in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
You're back.
Trying to make this so.
Yeah, Todd and Carmela, I agree with that too. They said that based on being old school raised, it would make sense that you would go a complete 180 and dive head first.
Yeah, but my favorite era of board is actually from the 1940s.
So what do you think is the one board that people are most impressed by?
Oh, I get so many compliments on my 1891. Like, a lot of people are at awe with it because of how old it
The
is.
Canard.
Yeah, and how good a condition it's in.
It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful. What's the so for people who don't really know a lot about Ouija boards, you have the Ouija board, and then you have the planchette, which is typically like a triangle or a teardrop, exactly. And then this little circle will keep going over the letters and the numbers on the board.
Well, the thing is, not all planchettes have a circle in them.
Right. I was just going to say that. So it'll point to it.
Right. Yeah.
Point, it will go over it just right. But a lot of them do have the circle in them.
It just made it easier. So the 1891 board, the Canard, what kind of planchette did that one have?
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was a circle with a point.
Okay. Some of
I
them
don't
have.
own that planchette, so I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Oh, it didn't come with one?
A lot of my boards don't have one.
Really?
A lot of the older boards, like I've seen some planchettes sell on eBay by themselves for upwards of over $1,000 just for the planchette alone.
Wow.
So when I find an old board, if it doesn't have a planchette, I'm not too worried because I might find that planchette down the road. It's all about the hunt for me.
Yeah.
It's almost like Pokemon, but for Ouija boards, as my wife would say.
Gotta catch them all.
Pretty much.
So, well, the Ouija boards, did it just start as a board when those four guys bought it? Because I know before that they used to put a cup with letters around the edges and used to bring it to those areas like the Ouija board. Did it start as a board when the those four guys, the toy makers, in the what was it, 18 something?
1891.
Maureen?
Yeah, the Canard board is
Was
the
it a
one that
board? But that's when they made it into a board, more or less a board, because I know before that they used to do it with the cups, or they used to do it with something else, just to to bring it to the boards. So that's when they started the boards.
Yeah, the actual board that he has is exactly the way they made it, and they patented that.
And they had two styles of boards too. They had one that was a slate, and they also had one that was wood.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the original one, like the first style, they had two runners on the back of it. This one is the one without the runners on the back. So the one with the runners was a slate.
Yeah. But Anthony,
that's cool.
You are right about the fact that there were talking boards long before, the Fox sisters or Canard. There would be, they would even have them in stone, or they would use runes, or they would do, whatever they could to make it like that. And they use them however they could. It didn't have to be like that.
Because I know what the Foxes is that when they first started, they started with the letters. They say A, B, C, and a knock. That's kind of like beginnings of a Ouija board also. A different style. That where they knocked where the letter was. The Ouija board actually brings you to the letter, but you hear a knock every time they want the spirit to tell you a certain letter to spell out something. So that was kind of like what a Ouija board does today.
That's probably how Canard got their idea. That they kind of built off of whatever they were doing.
And also, there was actually boards before Canard Novelty came out with there.
Is there?
Yeah.
How far back did that go?
They were called basically a talking board or a spirit board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know everybody, they come into my museum when I'm on the road and be like, I never knew there was this many Ouijas. Well, they're not all a Ouija. But everybody considers them all a Ouija because that's what everybody knows. Like, I have a lot of people that come into my museum and they'll be like, wow, I thought Parker Brothers were the first ones to create the board back in the 60s. a lot of people will think that because that's what they grew up with. They like before I jumped into collecting and spending thousands of dollars, like I thought, oh, I'll start collecting. There's like 15 boards probably out there. Different. It's actually like
surprise.
So,
Surprise.
Ron wants to know, when you use a spirit board to communicate, can you direct your communication and know who you are talking to?
That can be almost like that's a hard one to always tell. The only way you're going to know for a fact who you're talking to is if you ask them a private question that only you know they would know.
Even then, that's kind of questionable, because if it's a negative entity, they could be playing games with you too.
They could. And it's just like using a spirit box, like a lot of people do. They think they know who they're talking to when they're using a spirit box, but you never know. It's opening a portal, but through electronics, versus opening a connection using a piece of wood.
Correct.
I know a lot of people will argue that they're not the same, but
every divination method is the same.
You're still opening a portal of connection somehow.
I agree.
But one you're using batteries, the other one you're using air power.
For some reason, people are terrified of Ouija boards, and I don't understand why. And I tell them all the time, it's, tarot cards, pendulums, charms, whatever it is that you're using, they're all the same. They're all divination methods. It's just that you have to handle them with care, know how to use them, know how to close it out. It doesn't matter what it is. They're all divination. That's
it. A lot of people that use these things don't know how to close them out. And that's why I don't use Ouija boards, because I don't know much. I feel that if you don't know much about how to shut down and everything correctly, I stay away from things because I don't want to open up. I use other pieces of equipment, but a lot of places I know, because remember, the equipment that we're having now is only been used in the last 15, 20 years as an investigation, spirit boards and stuff like that. Maybe not, maybe like 8, 10, up to 10 years. We've been using a lot of these things. Ouija boards, talkie boards, spirit boards, they've been around forever. And so when an investigator goes into a location and finds that, because I know a lot of locations I've been to, somebody used a Ouija board and opened up something and never closed it. Okay? But everybody's blaming the Ouija board and not the new equipment, because the Ouija board's been around and has a bad reputation because of that. The new equipment, it's doing the same things, opening up portals and still opening up all these things. But they're not around long enough for people to put the blame on them. They put it on the Ouija board.
I would,
you know what I'm saying?
Say, when someone opened up a spirit box, how do you know you're actually closing it out the way it should be just by turning it off? Do you think that's going to stop the portal from possibly opening more and more when you leave?
You're right. You're right with that. You don't know what you're dealing with when you're on a spirit board. Spirit board, anything you're dealing with. You use a RAM pod. I go in the room and say, hey, touch that, touch that. You don't know who's touching it. You don't know what's there. If it's there already, or you're just bringing it in. Maybe you will open the portal
with it and you're taking its energy home.
Mm-hmm. And energy could come home with you. So the spirit board, the Ouija board, whatever they may want to call it, it's got a bad rap through the years. I haven't used it because I feel that I don't know how to shut it down properly. But then again, I'm using this other equipment, and then I don't know if I'm shutting that down properly neither. When I go somewhere. So, it's depending who the person is what they want to use. Because the Ouija board or whatever they want to call it, is I think it's a good piece of tool. It's a good piece of tool to get to talk to the afterlife or whatever they may be contacting. But like anything else, you don't know what you might be talking to.
Or
You
who
know,
could
and
be manipulating it.
yeah. Plus, the movies make everything look bad anyway. You know,
True.
Well,
you have all these
that's also
Ouija
Hollywood.
boards and what's up. Yeah, I mean, and it's not helping. So, I
Anybody
mean,
that
I have.
Hollywood movies should understand you're watching a Hollywood movie. It's not, it could
Exactly.
say based on a real story, but is that
Hmm.
really how it happened? Or did they, or like, good example, the Annabelle. In the
Hmm.
movie, it's this creepy looking doll. In real life, it's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, yeah.
So, in that, if they did a movie and used Raggedy Ann as a real Annabelle doll in the movie, people would not have been creeped out or scared by it. Oh, it's
Hmm.
just a cute little doll. Well, that could be even creepier, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're right on that. So the movies don't help neither, especially Ouija boards and any equipment that we use. So any piece of equipment that we use on an investigation could cause the same thing: open a portal, open something and anything could come through because you don't know what's coming through. You know, we don't know what's coming through on anything that we're doing ourselves. So you know,
Well, Ron
but
Iacovetti makes a good point. The key difference between a board and a radio is that with the radio or spirit box, the device is the medium, but with the board, the user is the medium through which the contact is made. The methodology is the difference. So you're being used as the contact. Also, with the planchette, there is the eye of the planchette, and that is kind of like a portal. So you have to be very careful. Um, and with like a PANA box or an ITC method or a radio or a spirit box or whatever you call it, that is what the medium is. So, I mean, there is a difference between the two.
True.
so
Todd and Carmela wonder if slate versus wood makes one more active than the other. Nope.
we
That,
lost.
I don't know.
This is
We
a
lost.
very
That's
weird.
interesting.
Are we playing
Yeah,
musical windows now?
I know.
Guess I'm talking.
Moved
I
yourself
got
out
the
and came right back.
Marine's gonna get the bomb next. But I mean, that's interesting. Would it make a difference? You think between the slate and a piece of wood? Because
I do.
slate could be a conductor.
I've
You
also
know?
heard of people making their own talking board using a marker and a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper and a
Yeah.
pen or
However, slate is something that spirits are drawn to.
yep.
Just like water or collagen, it's a conductor, like Anthony said.
Yeah. It's a conductor. So that'd be interesting. I mean, to go against C. What would be a piece of material that might be a more conductor to. I mean, it wouldn't be interesting because they say copper is a big conductor with spirits. Maybe get one of those, get a big sheet of copper and carve in a Ouija, the letters for the spirit box, the spirit board, and maybe you could work with that. I'd be interested. That would be a better conductor.
Let's try it.
Definitely be interesting.
The only problem
Yeah.
is, what if they just don't feel like using one over the other? How could you know?
Well, if they're not going to use anything, you wouldn't. That's why you experiment with different ones. So if you go there with a copper one, you bring a wooden one, and you bring a slate one, or whatever else material you want to make it out of, and see which one they interact with faster. You know. That'd be interesting.
I've even been at Penhurst, and we used the board at Penhurst one year, and it did nothing. But I've also seen a planchette sitting on a board, not doing anything, and all of a sudden it moves. I wish I had that on video, but I don't.
Using the best things we get, usually with the video cameras off.
Always.
It's always works that way.
Spirits are very finicky, though. I mean, they may not want to use some form of divination. They may just want to speak. They may not want to speak. They may want to use a form of divination. It's all about, what they want. It's up to them.
Yeah. So, I know you have a couple cool Ouija. Which one's that?
Au revoir.
I can't see much.
1940s, a Ouija queen.
Ooh. So why does it say au revoir? Is it from? It's not from France.
No.
That's isn't that from Louisiana?
Used for entertainment. Do not take it seriously, it says on the back.
Until it seriously gets in trouble.
Scientific or supernatural qualities. And it has a whole direction sheet right on the back that says that.
It's nice.
That's wild.
Which definitely doesn't make a good selling point for this board from the 1940s. But it has a whole list of directions right on the back of this one. I don't remember where this one was made. It doesn't say on it anywhere.
Does it tell you how to close out?
One. Trying to find the other one now. Trying to dig through the stacks.
Jeff's very organized. He has them in piles of years to years.
I have so many boards just sitting on my pool table right now. Here's another one. This is the first ever glow-in-the-dark one that was ever made.
Now that should come in handy.
And it's a Yogi. And if you got bored of trying to talk to the dead, you could also play checkers.
Nice. I love that.
A lot of boards in the 40s, believe it or not, came with checkerboards on the back. And I actually have a few of them sitting here.
Ron Iacovetti will love this. If you get bored with the board, play checkers.
I have a whole stack here.
I love that one.
This one's made by the Haskell Company. They also made dining trays.
They made what?
It's so hard to try to show them on video.
Did you say dying trays?
Yeah.
What is that?
Dinner trays they would use.
Oh, dining. I think you said dying.
Oh, the dining.
No, not dying trays, dining.
Like the TV trays.
Kind of, but they actually made a board like that too. I'll pull that one out next. You might not be able to see the shape of it, but if you could, it's not flat. It's literally a tray.
I like that.
This
when we get old and we're sitting in the nursing home, we could take those and eat our dinner off them.
Yeah, or use your Jello to try to summon the dead.
So you could take that tray. You could see what you're going to have for dinner that night.
There you go.
Yeah, what am I having for dinner? And then they could serve it on that tray.
You could use
get it served on that tray too.
Here's another Ouija queen.
I like that one better.
It's a lot more colorful.
Yeah. There's some silver in there too.
That's because this one is very poor shape. The silver you see in the corner right there
is asbestos.
Actually scratches. This one is
so that was used a lot. So that one was used.
Put away good. Like, I've actually found a Ouija queen where people have used them as BB targets, and they were full of BBs.
What?
And the BBs are stuck in
Really?
the board. I actually sold that board last year when I was at Penhurst Asylum. Someone goes, "I want this for a photo shoot," and it was one it was in poor shape, and I brought it to resale, and they bought it.
That's terrible karma.
What?
The one with the BB holes in it.
I don't know who put the BB holes in it. It came that way when I found it at a flea market.
Well, whoever did it is going to have terrible karma.
That's possible.
Mm.
This is another one from the 1940s. This is called a Mystic Smooth Slayer.
And it says static in the bottom?
Yep, it says static instead of goodbye.
Why?
Wow.
I honestly could not understand why. They actually have they have two versions. They got the black, and then they got the regular wood with the black ink.
So here's something interesting. I had a full body apparition in my home once, and I was trying to tap my ex-husband. And when he turned the light on, it just vanished. So I'm wondering if the static from the light is what made it go away. So that would make sense, because if static is made the spirit go away, is the static saying goodbye?
Possible.
I don't think it's static. It's
No?
hit a switch to turn a light. Not too much static there.
It depends
When
what
you
you
hit
want
it, it's no static.
to too.
You know, if you're hitting a switch to turn a light, you're not going to have static. Electricity goes through, but it's not going to be no static at that time, especially when it's deep in the walls. You know, but static is interesting how they have static there, because Ron and Lourdes and them, they actually use that Staticom stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm finding that interesting because it says static, and that's what they're using to communicate with their spirits with the Staticom. And here he has 1940s Ouija board. It has static on it instead of saying goodbye.
Right.
That's interesting to me.
Both versions say static on it as well.
I know Ron's listening right now. Well, Ron, isn't that interesting? Make a comment. That's pretty cool.
Todd and Carmela, were the BBs copper in the first one, or in the one you sold? There's the copper inset Anthony mentioned.
I'm pretty positive they were copper. I'm pretty positive they were the old copperhead ones from like back when
That's interesting.
BBs used to be called copperheads.
I remember those days.
Ron left us for a while. I'll have to ask him about that later.
Ron left.
But here's the thing. I always have static. Always. So that would mean, okay, so, but the spirits are drawn to me. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense then. You're right. Okay, that is interesting. This whole collection is awesome. The diversity and the designs of the boards are cool. All right, so Ron, why would the board say static at the bottom as a goodbye?
Since you use Staticom, I thought something's interesting with that.
And if it's Staticom, that means that they are still talking, not saying goodbye.
Yeah, well, it's static. It's static, so maybe it's going to do with that. It's on a talkie board, so that's why when I was a kid we used to call them talkie boards, not Ouija boards. When I was a kid, we used to always say talkie boards.
That was the very first thing I noticed about that board, which I can't not question that because there's something strange about it. You said that you had a board surrendered to you.
Yep.
Recently. And ironically, you can't find it.
The one that got surrendered to us in Gettysburg. Yeah. It's probably somewhere in my cluttered mess right now, or what I'm using for storage. Since I don't do touring in the winter, I don't have them on the ready at all times, so it's probably packed away still.
So what was the reason behind the surrender?
Well, some paranormal investigators in Pennsylvania found it hidden behind a wall. They held on to it for about a year, and it was in their garage up in the ceiling or something like that. And then when they saw me in Gettysburg, they were like, "You take boards that people don't want?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm always down to take boards." And they called up their friends, and their friends drove it down to Gettysburg and gave it to me. And I've had it ever since, and I won't let it leave my side. Well, not leave my side, but won't leave my possession. Right now, it's
It
not
left
by
your
my
side
side. I don't
tonight.
even know where it is sitting right now.
Did they say
It's
that
floating right behind you.
That would be quite interesting if it was.
Did they say it was giving them problems, or did they just say it creeped them out and they wanted to turn it over?
They had bad feelings about
Okay.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they found it and all of a sudden their walls were bleeding and they had flies on their windows in the winter, like nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
But it is quite the coincidence that waterspout tornado touched down the same day I got it.
That is bizarre, I have to say. I mean, it was the weirdest weather ever. Beautiful, sunny. Everybody was having a great time. All of a sudden, we're sitting on the deck and everything literally just goes in the air and slides down. And there's like a mini water spout in the parking lot. And it literally kind of just hit your stuff.
Yeah. Pretty much.
There was Anthony, am I wrong?
One other canopy where they were having a cigar and talking out in the parking lot. What they call it, the cigar circle, was it? They had like a little place cigars and talk paranormal out there. I think that's the only other thing that got touched. None of the food trucks got touched.
But they were kind of closed up.
There was stuff tossed all over the place. I mean, like I said, we've seen this spinning going up, the blue canopy going flying up, landing over there, and just loose things flying in the air. So nobody knew what was going on. We didn't know you had your door open and all that stuff still out. We thought everything was away.
And we kind of thought it was just
the door was open. Someone told me that they opened it to try to push stuff in quick. That's what I got told.
I don't.
Oh, I was told that the door was open.
I thought there was like still a rack of stuff hanging.
There was a lot of stuff still under the tent because we didn't want to pack it all away because we didn't think anything was crazy was going to happen.
Oh, crazy stuff happened.
It definitely did.
Ron
that was
said,
still to this day. I can't even think about what happened, how it just happened. Everything just got tossed.
I think about it a lot because I think about how quickly things developed, and I've never seen anything like that in my life. And it was just so isolated that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to be in a full-blown cyclone. I couldn't.
That was crazy.
Like, can you imagine what it would be like to be in like a Wizard of Oz kind of cyclone?
Nope, I would not.
You would have to worry. Maureen would have to worry about a house falling on her.
Shut up. But I'm mostly a good witch.
I'm Glenda, the good witch.
No, I'm not Glenda, the good witch. I'm mostly a good witch.
The house will fall on you, your feet will shrivel up and everything. Shoes will disappear.
I would
Yeah.
have much better shoes than that. Let's change the
Mhm.
subject. Ron says, does static perhaps mean stopped or unfluctuated as referred to when someone says static cam, a lacking in action? I didn't know if it said, I can't see at all. I'm losing my vision, literally. I didn't know if it said a lacking in action or a locking in action.
That I don't know.
That's interesting.
Makes sense. So, like a stopped or unfluctuated could mean a goodbye because they're stopping use. Hi,
Yeah.
Vic. Vic says, when using Ouija boards, when opening the portals within the Ouija board, one must always, when finished, close them. I agree. If one doesn't close them, then whatever you communicated with will remain. Anytime I use any form of divination, I always say that the spirit must leave and not come with, and must not stay with, whomever is living in that home or whatever the case may be. Yes, Ufi, mostly a good witch.
Which, but I see you have boards too that are more modernized. Like you had a Slipknot board I see from the
Yeah, that
band.
was
That one out right now. That's also one that's missing right this second.
Yeah, that I think it's like cool. Hey, do you have an Aussie board also?
Oh, I do, and I was gonna bring that one out in a little bit. I also have another one
Anthony, you're jumping the gun.
that's very.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
This
I
is
love
actually
that
from the
one.
TV show Charmed in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
See? You call witch and here it
Cool.
comes.
Like
It's
this is
very
the one
cool.
that they
That's
had
what-
up in the attic. Very similar. This is one of my newer pieces.
I like that one.
No, that's
And it's
cool.
even in grit, it's also made to look just like the one that was on the TV show.
That is so cool.
That's what I watched Charmed. I watched every one of them. I used to like those shows.
And it even comes with its own fancy planchette.
Oh wow,
So it's all Celtic. I love that.
that's very cool. All Ouija boards have the same. I mean, everybody sees a Ouija board. The ones that you see nowadays, and they all say hello, goodbye. And are there different expressions? Yeah, you see like yes, no. All these different. On the other ones, I know we just seen one where it says static on it and where it says goodbye. Is there any other words or other expressions that might have been like to the era of the Ouija board? Like different expressions that might
I
have been
know
said
when
on them?
I make boards, I try to not be the same. Like I'll put like farewell, peace out,
Hmm.
different words that all mean this basically the same.
Yes.
Trying to see if or I was trying to save this one for later. It's
Oh,
actually a
well, I'm
very
not pushing you.
funny board. It's called a Ouija.
Oh my
The
God.
planchette is legit a poly,
Uh-huh.
and it says later, dude, to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Like
should
this one
put
is
something.
still sealed. It's never been opened.
That's funny.
That
You should
is wild.
put something on there that says, dude, where's my car?
It was put out by Stonerware. They used to sell them at Spencer's.
That
Oh,
is,
that's wild.
I like that.
Yeah, I actually picked this up in Hamburg, Pennsylvania last year, and I refused to open it because it's still sealed in the package, brand new.
That is wild.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Todd and Carmela says, is there weed inside? And Ron said, Snoop Dogma.
I bet Snoop Dogg would approve of that board.
Snoop Dogg, yeah. Vic said, when you talk about static occurring in your house, that's sometimes referred to as electronic interference, which these energies have to have to do so. So when one sees light flickering in their house, it's not the spirit using the switch to do so, but their ability to travel within the current, allowing them to flicker lights. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That happens so much in my house.
I got another interesting board here. Remember the first one I showed you when I first came on, the Swami that the guy said, well, I got another Swami here. A little bit different. And the only thing different about this one is the bottom where it says National Novelties 192 number Clark Street, Chicago. That's the
I'll try to see.
difference.
That is so pretty.
Like it's so, I know it's so hard to see.
Anthony's playing detective.
I'm trying to see him. Like,
oh.
There you go. I can see it now. I'm on his phone, so it's like I'm seeing like these 1x1s boxes on each side. You know, it's like I'm trying to see everything. You know, but I mean, the stuff that you have, is very interesting. I bought. Oh, I have my pin. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I bought a pin from you at Power Unity, and it says boobs. It has a ghost with breast.
The one that says boobs?
Yeah. It's ghost with breast on it. It says boobs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let me see if I can find that.
Okay, so which one is this one now?
This one is another one made by the Haskell Company. Haskell, however, manufacturer corporation in Chicago, Illinois. They actually have multiple versions of the same board, and the only difference is, let me try to line up the two, as I call them. It looks like a shepherd almost. Hold on. As you can see, the only difference is
The beard.
the color behind the dude almost, and sometimes it's green.
There's
blue.
something different here though too.
Oh, there's a little bit different on each board, but like the Zodiac board, and the Zodiacs are either green or they're blue. And then to even make it more confusing, they got the big version versus the little version.
Oh, that's the traveling version. Well, for you it's both, but
So like you can see the size difference. I can place these ones inside the middle of this one.
I can't find it.
And there's two versions of the big, two versions of the little of each one.
that's crazy.
Wow.
To go that far to make such a small change.
Yeah, and a lot of it was, I guarantee, to make more money. Oh, if we change it up this much, they probably weren't thinking of it right then, but like, and now today, trying to find every single one, every different variant, it gets very costly.
Or could it have been something like, you know how white paint on vehicles is so much cheaper than everything else? Did they not realize how expensive that would be? So they changed just the paint color because it was so inexpensive to go with a different color?
That's a possibility as well. I wish I could go back in time and ask them why they did it.
Let's ask them.
It's interesting. I have somebody. I bought these at one of the shows I've been to. It's like a. Can you see it?
Oh, they're for pendulums. It's a pendulum
yeah, the
board.
pendulum board.
Yeah. So these are like Ouija boards too, aren't they?
Yeah.
I would assume so. Very similar. I bought these because I like the way they look, and then I I bought a grab bag from what do you call it? From one of the stands, and I got a pendulum with it. Like, and it was weird because I just bought these boards. I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna try to use it one day, but I thought it was interesting that I bought them just for like because I thought I was gonna use them as coasters, and then I buy one of those grab bag type things, and I get a pendulum in it on the same day. So I was thinking maybe there's something to that,
Yeah. These are my coasters.
Oh, I love that.
The dog ate the coaster holder though, so we can't just keep them all together.
So
Yeah, that's
here's another one that was made at 666 Lakeshore Drive. And the funny thing is, now it says manufactured by the Fortune Industries. But on the first one I showed you, it said made by Giftcraft, but it's all made by the same company. Like they
changed their company name.
They keep changing the name. I don't know why. I wish I did. And I'm always like talking to other Ouija board collectors and board collectors and enthusiasts, and I learn new stuff every day, but like it still racks my brain. Why do they change their name, but it's all made by the same person? Like
it could have been that they wanted to make more of a
tax purposes.
It could be tax purposes, or it could have been that they went bankrupt and they
tax purposes.
Yeah,
and I mean, businesses do that. They go bankrupt, they come back on a different name. They do the same products. I know of business that did do that. It's against the law, but I know that does happen.
Like here's another.
But that's it. I mean,
a lot of people call this one the McDonald's board because of the colors.
I couldn't see anything, but I was going to say it looks a lot like a McDonald's billboard.
Yeah. That's a McDonald's board. See, that's the first you can order your Big Macs, and you can order your Big Mac and your meals, Happy Meals on that thing, and they'll deliver them now. See, They do it back then. They're gonna have food to your house. That's the first Uber Foods.
That's so
Uber delivery.
And also,
that's so cool.
Play checkers or chess again.
Oh my God! See, they're like doubling down on this stuff. That was brilliant.
That is cool. Yeah, that is because they want to target all different people to buy their boards.
Like this one.
Ron said it comes with an unhappy meal.
An unhappy meal. Love it.
Happy meal.
Here's another talking board.
It comes with the grieving
meal. Called a talking board.
That has to be like 50s or 40s or 50s.
40s. All the ones I'm showing you right now are all from the 40s. Another boom checkerboard.
Checkerboard.
Super brilliant marketing.
And there's like little circles on each side, so maybe that'll be like a hockey thing back and forth too. Little circles. See, there's little circles. Looks like ears.
Right here.
There probably was like a hockey. What that reminds me of? When we were kids, you used to take the piece of paper and fold it into like a little triangle.
Like a little
and use. Yes, maybe that was something like that back then.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Here's a different style. This one's called the Cardinal Swami talking board, and this one was made in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
Anthony made these after school.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that old. That's an insult.
It's made in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, well, I went to Catholic school. That's what we used to make, Ouija boards.
You'd make those, and you'd get a
I
meatball
can
for
so
it.
see the nuns doing that in art class.
Yeah, that's what we do in our class. I mean, we're making Ouija boards. Hey, had to make some kind of money.
And they'd pay you with a meatball.
Yeah,
They do with
cannolis. Only cannolis.
and cannolis.
Only investigate for cannolis.
How do we? All right, wait. How do we blow up his screen?
Hit screen.
Can we blow up his
Hey.
screen so he?
I know it's probably so hard to see all the difference of all the
Mhm.
boards I have with this little tiny
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, you got your board. You got your monitor. You have your phone straight up and down. If you put it sideways, you might be able to get better. But I don't think I would have messed with it right now.
Whoa.
See? Yeah, looky. That's upside down.
Wait. There we go.
There you go. Much better. See?
Here's another
Oh,
one
that's
made
cool.
by Gift Craft at 666 Lakeshore Drive. This one's called the Raja.
666 Lakewood Drive.
Lakeshore Drive.
Is that place still around? Is that place still around? You ever researched it?
I've never researched it. If it was even a real address, even.
Yeah. Might not be a real address. Maybe it's something, I don't know.
Sales
Or maybe it is a real address. And, it could have been something religious, got to, spiritualism or whatever. Because spiritualism came back big during World War One and World War Two. After every big disaster, the spiritualism always starts up again because people want to speak to their departed ones. So
And here's another
Yeah.
one they made. This one's called Black Magic.
We
Oh,
don't
that's
know anything
cool.
about that word. I'm sorry.
That looks nice. Like I said, your boards they're they're art. They're a piece of
All of
art.
them are.
Oh, that's boards.
And the fact to find them that are this old, yeah, you can find them online a lot. But the thing is, it's the finding the right quality, the way you want it to find it. You want to find it like it was almost brand new. And that's the hardest thing to find on some boards.
Yeah, I mean, these boards are probably taken and used a million times. You don't even know who had it before you.
Nope. But here's one of my all-time favorite boards. Oh,
There we go.
There you go. There you go. Bigger.
Bobby.
Well, that's cool.
this
Oh, wow.
one is made in Canada. It's called the Father Time Board.
Oh, that's pretty.
Or, as a little kid called it this year when they saw it, the Santa Claus board.
and
It could be Santa.
But they call it the Father Time.
you have the zodiac signs around it.
And this is actually the planchette for it.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
That's interesting. I like the zodiac signs and everything. That's just pretty nice.
As you can tell, they're both red.
Mm.
I know, Echo, you're upset because Mother's not home.
He's
He's being a whiny, but oh,
hey, puppy. Hello.
hi to everybody on the camera. Come on, get up here.
Hi.
Don't you see me? Say hi to the camera. Look this
Hey, this way.
way. Get up here and say hi. Oh, come here. Oh,
Hey, puppy.
he just wants my attention.
You want it? Yeah. You're not paying much attention there.
Oh, he gets plenty of attention. Don't let him fool you.
The dogs don't know. They didn't seem to never get enough attention.
Here's another one made by Kowan Products, New York.
Well, that's interesting.
And this is a Sphinx board,
Oh, wow.
also 1940s.
Yeah, I like the fonts on it. That's pretty cool.
And I've always been fascinated with Egypt, so I love anything that has to do with ancient Egypt.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now we're going to get into something a little different. It's still considered a talking board, but we're getting into some of the older ones now. These are getting into, we're going to do the mystifying oracles.
Oracles.
And my knowledge, these ones that I have are all from the same year. We got the 1938 Mystifying Oracle. And they have different variants of each one. Like this one at the bottom, as you can see, it's in black writing. Then I grabbed the next Mystifying Oracle. Same size board, but it's got the red writing.
Oh. Is it one's like a special or
These
one's a
were
special?
registered and trademarked in Canada, but it was also a registered U.S. patent off. Trademarked. What I've been told is the Flood family had a dispute, and he started making these in Baltimore, Maryland. This is what I've been told that. So he started making these to sell in Canada to try to get it more out there more. He still made them in Baltimore, but these ones are trademarked in Canada as Mystifying Oracles.
Jeff, how long has it taken you to collect all of these different boards?
5-6 years, roughly. About 5 years. You don't want to know how fast I buy them.
It's like a woman with shoes.
Well, I know some women that don't even like shoes, so. But I also have a 1912 trademark.
1912.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I like the corners, like the different pictures. It's corners too. That's what I'm looking at more. That's pretty cool. When you use a Ouija board, how do you shut it down? I really don't know how to really shut down a Ouija board. That's why I really never use it.
I always say saying goodbye closes it. Other people will say, well, you need to do a special ritual, which they never want to explain the ritual, so I don't know how believable that is. Like, oh, you can't just say goodbye. Well, what do you do? Oh, I don't want to get into it. Well, how are other people supposed to know if you won't explain what your ritual is?
Exactly.
So do you just say goodbye, or do you do something with the?
I just say goodbye.
So I've always said, you are not allowed to stay here. You are not allowed to follow me. You are not allowed to linger with whomever I'm with right now. And then I move the planchette to goodbye and I say goodbye.
I usually say that at the end of any investigation when I'm just regular.
I do as well. I do it just like I do with everything else. But I move the planchette to goodbye and I say goodbye.
Hmm. No, I mean, I would try. You know, that's
And I have people
that was
come
my
into my
world.
when I'm on the road and maybe like, can we play with your boards? I don't. And all my pieces are museum pieces. They're for history. They're for pictures.
It's
These
not a
Mhm.
are
good
not for
for
you.
you.
Like
Yeah.
this one's 1919. I've had multiple people ask me, "Can I play with your 1919?" No. Thing is
Yeah.
It looks
old
like
and
the other
worth
one.
a couple $100 easily. And the more you use it, the more it's gonna get ruined or damaged or broken.
Mhm. Yes. These are shiny and there's still there's no. I can't see any scratches. And these look
Oh,
like
there's a few.
they just came out of the box.
Oh, there's a scratch on it. But I try to find boards that are in really good condition for showing. Yeah,
Mhm.
I have some that are pretty tattered, or I got one, I got it from Goodwill, and they shipped it with a bunch of rocks.
What?
Yeah, I have no idea what they were thinking. I spent $550 on this board, the 1902.
Oh,
And right now I have it taped holding some of the pieces together. Some of the pieces weren't even able to be refound. But
oh.
Oh, you
you can
got to
see
be.
the tape is holding up this star. There's missing pieces right here from and tape holding on another piece. Because they shipped it with a box full of like rocks, just ordinary rocks that they could have just thrown outside. And
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
They're
They
not very
got a
smart.
really rude phone call from me. I was really pissed when I paid $500 for this, and in their pictures, it's perfect condition. They shipped it with all the rocks and stuff in it, and it gets almost destroyed to being. But
Is
Oh
that
it's
my.
definitely a
is that
cool
a
piece.
canard? Is that a canard board?
No, it is not.
It looks like a canard.
It looks like one, but this one is a 1902.
Did they tell you that
19.
they shipped it without the rocks?
No,
So they knew that they put the rocks in it.
yeah,
Oh my god.
What's the excuse for the rocks?
it was part of the auction, even though I told them they didn't have to send the rocks.
What did the rocks have to do with it?
Oh,
It was just a lot that they put together, and everybody was bidding on the board. I told them they didn't have to send the rocks, but they decided to send them anyways.
yeah, it was a lot of something. You had to buy whatever was in a lot and whatever you want. You
Yeah,
came all together. Yeah.
I was hoping they just
That's
wouldn't
crazy.
send the rocks, that they just give them to a kid or throw them out in the yard or something. But
Mhm. That's nuts. That's
Insane.
crazy.
this is a
It's
more recent board I got on auction. This is from
Wow.
1920s. This is a very rare and sought after board. I paid $400 just for the board alone.
wow.
Wow. That's
They're in such
nice.
great condition for the years that they are. That's what taught
But
it
you
for
can,
more.
if you look at it closely, you'll see this one got some wear. It's got use.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I think is really cool about it, this one's made in St. Louis, Missouri, and it still has the original instructions, which if you come and see me this spring or summer, I'll let you read the instructions. I know it's probably hard to see
Mm-hmm.
on here, but
Yeah,
Was that
just
the year of the fair?
bring it back. I could see it. Look.
oh,
There it goes. I can read company. Yeah, there's something back there. Yeah. Directions I can see.
Something about a mystic hand. Was that made in the year of the St. Louis Fair?
that I don't know.
Hmm.
It's possible.
Interesting.
It's a very sought after board. I know that. A lot of collectors, they idolize that board.
Is there something in particular about it that makes it that way?
Very uncommon to come across. A lot of them aren't around anymore. They got destroyed. They got you. Excuse me. I need to get a drink real quick. A lot of people when they would, we need something to start the fire with. They would cut up their board, or our drawer needs to be fixed, so they'll use the board to put it in the bottom of a wooden dresser or something as a drawer because it fell out or something.
What year was that?
1920.
Okay, so it was around the time when the stock market crashed, which means that the board would not come before anything else. So they would use it because they didn't have money. They would use that to do other things with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
I actually had this gentleman come up to me last year at the main Odd and Unusual show. And to this day, I've still been waiting for his email because he said he went into a Catholic church that they were tearing down and he bought everything in it. And in the Cardinal's office, he said, was a mirror. Behind the mirror were all these boards puzzled pieced together to be the backing of the mirror.
Wow.
And I told him I would buy that whole piece just as it sits. And I have yet to see the picture of it. Wow. Sorry.
That's weird.
And I honestly want to see it and I want to own it.
And he wasn't going to sell it to you?
No, he said it's up for sale, but he never sent me the photos, never anything.
Can you track him now?
I'd love to see it. And I gave him my card. I don't know if he just lost my card. Hopefully when the Odd and Unusual show comes around again,
he'll just come back.
He will show up and be like, hey, I lost your card. Can I get another one? And I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Because I will hands down buy that and I'll bring it on tour.
That'd be
the way
amazing.
it sits, all puzzle pieced together. And
That
the
is
fact
so
that they
neat.
found it in a Cardinal's office, he said. Why was it behind? Why was it even in a church? Is a better question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait,
Yeah.
was it all Ouija boards put together, or was it pieces of Ouija boards put together?
He said there was a few that were whole, but then there's pieces and corners and all like cemented together as one giant collage behind this mirror.
That's really strange. So this leads to a question. Ron was joking when he said, then you get the Jesus board out and play with this one. And Oofy wanted to know, is that a real thing?
Hold on.
It sure is.
Hold on.
It sure is.
Want to talk
Jesus boy.
Holy Spirit board.
This is the funniest.
It's hilarious. Yeah. Actually, it has the infinity symbol on it. And Jeff, am I correct in saying that you can only speak to Jesus?
Supposedly, this just came out. What was it? Last year or the year before? And they sell it.
And that makes me laugh at these people if they actually, religious people sit down and do this, because it's the same thing as a Ouija board.
But they won't play with a Ouija board.
They won't tell you touch a Ouija board because it's got to do with the devil. But all you got to put the name Jesus on the board, and now it's a religious board. No, it's the same difference.
It reminds me so much of my mom. She didn't believe in spirits. If it was my Nana, she's coming.
Which one is this? That's angels. Oh wow, that's a nice looking board.
It's a very pretty board.
Yes.
But the thing is, when you're talking about angels, who is the most prettiest angel?
Who's it?
Prettiest?
What's his name?
Do you know who the
Oh,
most prettiest angel is?
Gabrielle, isn't it?
Nope.
No.
No.
Ariel?
Nope. Lucifer.
Oh, because he's light. Okay, you're right.
He was known as the most prettiest angel. So,
What was
if
it?
you're talking to an angel, could you still be talking to the devil?
Right.
And it does have the on the top of that board you just had. It does have the star.
It does.
Has a star. It is facing upward. That's supposed to be white magic. If it was upside down, it's supposed to be black magic. But I don't think it really makes. I
Or
don't
if
know if it
it's
makes a
upside
difference.
down, kind
Depending
of
on which way
like
you're
this
sitting.
one,
Yeah, it's depending how you're sitting and doing it.
Titanic.
So where
Oh,
did you
look
get
at this. It's upside down.
Yeah.
Oh,
like I
is
said,
that the goat's head?
that? It's Baphomet.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
goat's head, isn't it?
Yeah. So Jeff, where did you get that one?
This one.
That's it.
The funny thing is, I got this one on eBay. I get a lot of boards off eBay. But if you look at this one versus, let me find one of the ones from, I have so many boards out right now. Give me a second. Right there. I'm literally just trying to move all these boards to get this. You see this one, Baphomet in it. But then you look at they almost stole the design of the Ouija.
Oh yeah.
Oh, in the corners, you mean?
The light, you can see the same images,
Yeah.
all four corners. So, do I think they ripped off the design of the Ouija? Yes.
Yeah.
But what they did to make it so they used all the same imagery, like all the pictures. The only difference is this one's in a circle.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And has Baphomet on it.
Yep.
And is that a total square board?
Huh?
Is that board square?
This one?
Yeah.
It's
No, it's a rectangle. Okay.
Rectangle, square, more rectangle-ish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
They're interesting boards. They're very interesting, these things.
So, you want to get more into the pop culture boards, I call them?
Sure.
Yeah, let's watch.
Stranger Things.
I love it.
Oh.
And
Stranger
this one's made
Things.
by the Hasbro.
See,
Check
like
that
I
out.
said, you could vote at 18, but you could play with demons at 8.
Or here's another one. Everybody knows who Elvira is.
We love Elvira.
Oh yeah.
She's the Coors Light girl.
Or
the Mistress of Halloween.
Yeah.
Who's not a fan of the band Ghost?
Ghost. Yeah.
Like the band, like
Yeah. That's cool.
Ghost has actually made multiple boards.
That one's really cool.
Oh wow.
And they gave them out to their VIP meet and greets on their tours.
Hi, Charles. Charles said someone should paint a QWERTY board,
Who?
like QWERTY for your phone.
Definitely an interesting idea.
It would be different.
It sure would. I haven't even gotten into the custom boards that I've bought in from other artists. I just have so many more boards that I haven't even shown yet.
So yeah, you got.
What's your favorite?
Oh my goodness. Like custom board or old
Custom.
board? Do you say custom?
Yeah.
Oh, Give me a second. I'll pull it out.
Everything's going to be so messed up, and your wife is going to be so angry that she has to put everything back together.
Well, I took literally every single, almost not all the boards out of my collection. I still have so much left in storage. Oh,
wow.
Probably a good place for them after everything that went down in July. Ooh,
freak show.
it's awesome. I love
Oh
it.
wow.
This is made by my buddy Danny Perez.
Hi, Danny. Do you make more of these?
Yes, he does.
Awesome. I love freak show stuff.
That's
And it's
wow.
actually a very unique board.
It is really, like, I've never seen anything like this one.
That's a piece of art.
It's amazing.
That's why it has a frame on it. This is art.
Another one of my favorite custom boards. I just got it in the mail not too long ago. It's called the Talkin' Ouija board.
Oh, I love her.
It almost reminds me of a 1940s board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it's
Pinup girls.
Yeah, it's got the pinup girls. It's got the devil all over it.
Is that hot stuff? The devil,
Huh?
like the Casper. They used to have hot stuff. The devil. Oh no. Okay. I see the head now. All right. Those look like old tattoos, like the old tattoos back in the 40s, like you said.
And this one was made in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the cool thing about this board, it's numbered.
Oh wow.
I got 50 out of 100 ever made.
That's wow.
So that's another one of my cool custom pieces. Here's another custom piece. This is made by Aaron Seagar.
Oh.
21 Days Hunting. And he's even signed it on the back.
Oh wow.
Jeff's Talking Boards. He
That
wrote
is awesome, Aaron, if you're watching. Very cool. So it looks
Aaron did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Seagar's. He actually has two. Let me grab the other one.
So it looks
I like
very
what it says on the bottom. It says aloha.
Like very Hawaiian, but it kind of almost has it's reminiscent of like a Dia de los Muertos.
He loves tikis.
Very cool.
That's why it's called the tiki
Ouija. Tiki Ouija.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I like that.
And he actually signed both of them. So
I like the ghost on the back.
Yeah. That's
pretty cool.
And my pile of boards is like.
Oh my gosh.
Those are just some of the boards, and like I still have so many more boards. Like this one coming right up. This one's made by Cosmo Bryant. This is a tarot card.
Tarot.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And made by Cosmo Bryant.
That's really pretty.
And he actually autographed it as well. I have a lot of people trying to get this board off me. I guess it's not one of his more common ones, but something that he does that's unique. On this board, anyways, he's got symbols going all the way around.
Are they runes?
Oh wow.
They look like ruins.
But some of them look like zodiac symbols.
And it's a mixture. It looks like zodiac signs. Some of them look like Egyptian like looking symbols. It's hard.
That is so cool.
But
that is
another one of the cool custom boards I got.
Yeah, you'll never find something like that.
Oh, you'll find them. They won't go cheap though.
with all of that together, because there were some signs on the back of it too. That's awesome.
I don't know if you can tell what those symbols are, or
Some of them are runes. Some of them are
Looks like zodiac signs.
some of them are like Sumerian. That's amazing.
and when I come to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, where I guarantee we're all going to see each other again, when I'm going to be set up inside, feel free to, if you want to look at the back, just ask, and I'll let you look at the back board. You can examine it. Heck,
Are you going to be at Penhurst too?
Go for it.
Are you going to be at Penhurst this year?
Yep.
I'll be there too.
I'll be set up in the trailer at Penhurst.
Okay.
In a garage, hopefully.
No, outside, just like last year.
Away from the tornado.
Let's not hope there's another one.
Jeff will never let you live that one down.
Nobody's ever gonna let me live that one down. This one's another. They used the same design as William Flood and his family did, but this one they did it all wood burning, and it's called Moon Raven Gallery. Made it.
Oh wow!
Handmade by Gina Alberti 2020.
It's pretty.
That's a nice looking board.
And it also came with documentation of authenticity.
That's really neat.
So that's kind of another cool custom piece. Yeah, it does. Basically, the only thing they changed, they didn't put Ouija on it. They put their logo.
Well, technically, I mean, Ouija is a brand name.
Yeah, it's owned by Hasbro.
Right.
Because at first, Ouija was owned by Kennard, then it went to the Floods, and then it went to Parker Brothers in the 60s. And then I think it was, I'm probably going to get this date wrong, but I'm going to say around 2015 when Parker Brothers sold it to Hasbro. I always get the dates mixed up. Sorry, I haven't got much sleep lately due to my hand.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So my memory is not always right sharp right now. But here's one of my favorite, another favorite
It's
one.
so cute.
Made by Dead State Paranormal in 2023. And this whole board is hand wood burned and then painted.
Wow.
It's really cute. I like that one too.
Well, those corn candies, those candy corns.
Corns, yeah. Very
Oh wow.
Halloweeny.
I got that one when we were at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I saw it and I'm like, I have to have that.
It's so different.
That's really good.
And here's another one. One of my friends he was in Colorado. He's now, I forgot what state he's moved to now, but he hand painted this and I saw it online and I'm like, you know what? I have to have it. It's something different.
Yeah, it's just very basic but pretty at the same time.
Yeah, he just paints beautiful flowers on it.
So cute.
Is there any boards in different languages or different type of letters?
Actually, I got
or caricatures or something like that.
Oh,
the Satanic board.
no.
That is nice.
That's badass.
I honestly wish I could tell you what these symbols meant. I don't know what these symbols represent.
It looks like old Sumerian.
but it's a very unique board.
It's
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like that.
that's a nice looking board. And I like the shape of it too. It's not the typical square or rectangle or you know, it's I like the way it's shaped.
It's
You
Todd
know,
wants,
definitely a
Todd
unique
wants to know
shape.
if that's Mothman. It doesn't. It's not Baphomet. What? It does look like Baphomet when you get closer, but where do the wings come from? Because
My question is, why does he have tits?
hmm
well, Baphomet does have like
Mothman.
no Baphomet. He does have pecs. He's built like a really built dude.
Well, this
But
one looks female, so it's hard to tell. Like when you see it in
hmm
person, you'll be able to see it a lot better.
but Baphomet doesn't have
Yeah,
wings. Like this is it a combination of two deities?
That's what I was wondering. But this one also looks like, in my opinion, it doesn't look like a goat.
Female?
It has a goat horns, but it has like a Mothman's head with, in my opinion, it looks like a female body with angel wings, and then it has
And
goat
goats
horned feet.
hooves. Yeah. It's a really
yeah, and then you got the pentagram on top, facing downward.
Yeah.
so it's definitely
What's in
like
each
satanic style.
What's in
and
each
it was
corner
made
down
in
the bottom?
France, which I like. Not very often I get a board that's made out of the country.
Oh, so this one came from outside the country.
Yeah, I got this one from France.
What
That's nice.
Anthony wanted to know what's in the bottom corners.
The bottom corners.
Oh, Seals of Solomon. I have that one as a tattoo, actually. I think.
That one right there. Let me get the. Here we go again. That's pretty cool. What
Oh, no.
do you know what that one? That one there?
I thought that was like the tattoo that I have, but it's slightly different.
What about this one?
Yeah.
It looks like the seal. Looks like the seal for all the angels, archangels. Yeah, and Ufi wants to know if the shape of the board is relevant, or if it's just like
in
an
my
art.
opinion, it's the way the artist wanted it to look, to be different.
hmm
I don't know the artist personally. I actually found them on Etsy, and they were from France. And I'm like, I do not have a board from France, and that board is very unique.
It's really cool.
That is very nice. What's
So
the planchette look like? Is there a planchette with it?
I actually do have a planchette for it. Let me grab it.
Good job. Great question. I want to see it too.
The planchette's a little different. The planchette itself says yes, no, and goodbye on it with an upside down pentagram star.
And the ovulus on the inside is not. It's like a
birdhouse.
Yeah.
What's that? That's a side.
Or no?
It's like a hair hexagon. Yeah.
Luffy said it could be a magic square and a tri-square.
It could be.
It's a very interesting board.
Very interesting.
I'd like to
That's
see
a
that.
very nice board. Like,
So,
yeah.
Do we have any Hellboy fans out on right now?
I like Hellboy.
I like the first one.
Well, did you know they made 2 different Hellboy talking boards?
No.
I have both versions. Give me a second to get the more rare one out. This one right here is one of, I think it's 500. I have a certificate of authenticity with it. Yep. This is 167 out of 500.
Wow.
They're very rare. They come in this beautiful hard case with a Hellboy symbol on it. Like, it's a very well-made box.
Wow.
Came with fan art of Hellboy. Also came with a Hellboy illustration for use.
Hmm.
And then it comes with this nice box that it lives in.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that one was a hard piece to acquire because with only 500 of them being in the world, not many people want to give them up.
I feel like I'm watching
No.
Antique Ouija Board Roadshow right now.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
But the funny thing is, I got both planchettes.
Oh, so did they like make a mistake and put both in?
No, I have both versions.
Oh, okay.
But you can see the little bit
Oh,
difference
wow.
about
Okay.
the way this
Yes.
one is shaped versus
Very
they're
cool.
both different shapes.
Wow.
And here's the
Mhm.
one that was mass produced.
Right, Ufi? Oh my God.
It almost looks the same, but this one's made out of like
Darker.
cardboard material.
And it's
Kind of
darker.
like a foam board.
Yeah.
You can normally find this
Wow.
roughly for about $100 if you're lucky.
They're also different, and whomever made all of these, like you have the older ones that are so well made, and the wood is so thick, and they're polished and they're beautiful, but they're kind of like, they're boring. But these are so
full of life.
yeah.
These are so nice.
Or
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it.
More modernized one. It's called
That's
Spirit
pretty.
Board, and it's kind of almost like they made it with a cloth cover.
Yeah,
You can almost hear my finger.
like a vinyl or something.
Yeah, it's almost like a vinyl, but it's just a regular board. And this one was made in China with a good old made in China sticker on the back.
Of course. Can't forget China.
Do you have like furniture with Ouija boards on it? Because I see they make tables, like coffee tables and all kinds
I
of
actually
tables, like
have
even
I made
rugs.
my own coffee table.
Rugs.
You made your own?
Yeah. I got my own end tables. I got clocks. I got necklaces, hats.
I like the hat.
I have like 7 of these. And whenever I see one pop up for sale, I have to buy it because I think they were released in like 2016, 2017. They used to sell them in Spencer's in their hat section, and you can't find them anymore.
Mhm.
Once in a while, you'll see one pop up on eBay, and I'm like, yep, it's mine, because they get dirty so easily. As you can see, this one's starting to get dirty as it is.
You can make almost anything. Like I got a resin kit for Christmas, and I can make my own planchettes. I can make planchettes that are necklaces, earrings. I make runes that you can actually toss runes like a divination kit. It's amazing. Like almost anything can be a planchette.
Oh yeah, I can bring out all the different planchettes I have too. I got so many different styles. Here's another board from, I've been told, the 70s. It's made by the Colt Clark Company out of Canada. And it's just very ordinary. It
Looks like a very 70s board.
Yep.
Yeah, just a plain board.
It's just plain. They're kind of trying to mimic the old the Kennard one. It's very similar to the Kennard. Very, actually, It's basically a later knockoff because it has the same symbols of everything in it as you can see on my Kennard. They got the glass kind of gives it a glare, but they got the moon with the star, the solid moon, and then 2 stars in the corner. So I know a lot of people have watched that new Netflix series called Wednesday.
Yes.
They've come out with a Wednesday Ouija board.
That was one of the best scenes in the show, too.
So they just released this 4 or 5 months ago. And of course, I had to buy a bunch of them.
It's a great show. If no one has watched it yet, you know what though? You need the counterpart to that. You need the werewolf girl.
The what? The werewolf girl, you said?
The werewolf girl. She needs her own board also.
Well, they're coming out Wednesday, the second season soon, so.
I thought that already came out.
The second one? I didn't see it yet.
One. A lot of people they get kind of freaked out about it, but I found out the story's not true behind it.
Bob's board.
Supposedly, the story they made it up about this board, it was made by a serial killer, and this is how he contacted his victims. Has a great story to it, but it turned out it was a false story.
Bob's board. So what serial killer would that have been?
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's why when I
Son of Sam.
more research into this board, because I found out it was just a gimmick to help them sell boards, and I just still think it's still a unique board.
Yeah, it's a very cool looking board.
It almost looks like back like in some of the like a horror movie or something with a ransom note with different different letters cut out.
Yep, that's what it is.
Buy something crazy like that.
It's supposed to be creepy.
People can't stay away from those things. You know, if someone said, "Oh yeah, this talking board, you know, allows the serial killer to come through," everybody would be out buying the damn thing.
Oh, definitely. Like I'm making serial killer talking boards.
You are?
Oh wow!
I am.
Like each of the serial killers?
Like it has Jeffrey Dahmer in it. There's another one I have with John Wayne Gacy. There's another one with Ted Bundy. There's another one
like Zodiac, BTK, all of them.
About gear.
Well, the thing is about the Zodiac killer, he never was caught, so there's no actual photos of the Zodiac killer. So it's kind of, I could put a bunch of Zodiac signs on it, or something silly like that, or even Lizzie Borden.
Ooh,
how about Ed Gear?
Who?
Ed Gear. Ed Gear.
Oh, Geen?
Geen. I'm saying Geen. Ed Gein.
Definitely.
That was the one.
I could put anything into a board.
Jack the Ripper. You can do anything with that.
Except there's nobody knew who Jack the Ripper was either.
No.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper was H.H. Holmes, the first ever serial killer in the United States.
Matter of fact, we're having his grandson on in a couple of weeks.
Huh?
Jeff Mudgeon. We're having Jeff Mudgeon on in a couple of weeks.
His great grandson
on the show. His great grandson. We're gonna have him on our show in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
That's definitely
H.H. Holmes.
Wait one second.
So
let me grab something.
I got a lot of stuff to talk to him about. Can't wait for that show too.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna show you something that I made.
So this is interesting. The audience. I mean, I can't see anybody talking in the audience, but this is very interesting. How? Yep, there he goes. H.H. Holmes.
Well, I made it into a talking board. Like it's still a piece of work,
Oh, you're
This
still
one,
making it.
this is a screw up, but as you can
That
see,
is
some of
what.
the letters didn't come out right.
You could do a great Black Dahlia one.
I can put
Black Dahlia.
anything
I
you
love it.
want on a board.
Mm-hmm. You can do anything.
I'm
That's
totally
interesting.
entranced by that story.
Get the Black Dahlia. I always was with me too. I always was interested in that one. But
Or
I mean,
another,
anything on the board, like you said.
like here's another
What?
pop culture one, as I call it, Supernatural.
Oh, I love Supernatural.
Yeah.
That's another one of the what I call pop culture. Or Emily Odd I See. Like I could keep pulling boards out. I still have a stack probably about this high.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
It's really awesome when I actually can set them up inside versus my trailer, because the trailer, you're like, oh, that's cool. You walk in, yeah, I saw them all. But you go in and I set up in a room with everything displayed.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people stay in there for hours reading the little cards I put with them.
It's a story behind them too. It's not just,
Yeah, it's
looking
interesting.
at art behind it. Like, are you someone that also uses them, or do you just collect them? And
I have my own personal I'll use on investigations. I don't always use them. I will use them here, there, but it's not something I bring to every single investigation I ever go on.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, do you use every single device that you own for ghost hunting at every single event?
Of course not. No. Of course, because you got different things: indoors, outdoors. You're in a
And you also
abandoned
have
place
there
that
they
people
have
talk.
no Ouijas, or like I know there's some haunted locations if they'll ask you have a Ouija board with you, or a spirit board, or talking board. And if you tell them yes, they tell you need to leave it in your car, or we will not allow you in.
A lot of places are like that. Mm-hmm. They don't want Ouija boards, but then there's people like
I see people
locations that want it haunted.
Have you ever had a bad experience with one?
I personally, while using one or not using one.
Well, we've heard some of your bad experiences just having them.
And
I know.
People tell me your luck is because you have all my bad luck over the past year. They're like, that's because of all your Ouija boards. Everybody blames my boards. I'm like, just because I have bad luck right here or bad luck then doesn't mean it's all because of the boards.
It could be coincidental.
No. Hey, we get on investigation. We're doing a private home investigation. Now they're telling you, well, the spirits are making me and my husband fight. They're making us have bad luck. They're making me sick. They're making this. It's not spirit. It's just you guys. It's like, how can you blame something else? I mean, it's life. It happens to people. They're blaming. Oh, we're going to get a divorce because of the ghost or the spirit in the house. That's not always necessary.
Oh, sometimes some relationships are just toxic, and you guys are opposites.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Opposite attracts,
and
but
you've been collecting these boards. You've been collecting these boards for 5 to 6 years, and you're saying over the last year you've had problems. I mean, it just seems too coincidental for people to just blame it on that.
Yeah, it's a scapegoat a lot of times. They blame it on other things that don't. That's nice. Wow.
Here's another one from Canada. Or you might have also saw it on the TV show, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh.
I've never seen that show.
It was back in the early 90s, in late 90s, on Nickelodeon.
No, I wasn't there for Nickelodeon. My kids might have watched it.
My son used to watch that.
I never seen it. But that's a nice looking board.
Nice.
Then I have this one. It's called Zolar's board. from 1965.
I've seen that board.
I saw a board just like this one go on eBay and sell for over $1,200.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Amazing.
Doesn't mean every single one of them will go for $1,200. It just that's the one that did.
It makes me sad because I'm still older than that board. I'm still older than that board. It's born what? In 1965 they made it?
Yep.
Oh, man.
I think that's Zoltar.
Well, there's no T in this one. This one is called Zolar.
Yeah, I think in the movie Big wasn't the. Hold on a second.
Are you thinking of the fortune tellers? Like you
Yeah, I
see?
think
So I got this for Christmas.
Yeah, Zoltar.
Zoltar. Yeah.
They actually have a full-size one of those out in Gettysburg that we saw this year.
Oh yeah, I had my fortune told.
I didn't see that one. Where was that?
It's on the porch of one of the stores when you go down Steinwehr.
Oh, I didn't. I was right there. I was there all day. I was on the premises all day. I didn't see it.
Yeah, on Steinwehr. I think it's across from that Irish pub.
Yes, it is.
So what
And
is
here's
this?
here's another one made in Baltimore, Maryland, right before they sold the Parker Brothers.
Oh, wow. That's right before.
Early 60s
Isn't that kind of the standard look of
of their
Ouija
boards. Correct. You'll see this from time and time again. Like, let me grab another one of their boards from Baltimore, and you actually see a difference. Like, well, as you can see, this one's got square corners.
Yep.
This one got rounded corners.
That's probably when they started to round the corners because everybody poked their eyes out when they were running in the dark. Let's round them out so they don't sue us.
I actually got this one. This one right here is actually from the 1940s.
Okay.
I got this at a flea market a couple months ago with the box and everything,
Oh, wow.
which was actually a pretty cool find.
Now, I wanted to make a point about that from the beginning of the show, and I was waiting for a segue to get there. I was cleansing someone's home, and they were having a lot of spirit activity. And they said they had no idea how they had something come into the house because of different reasons. I open this strange closet, and I see something like skittering around inside, and it was kind of climbing the wall onto the ceiling in this weird closet. And the only thing in this entire closet was a Ouija board on a shelf. That's not the only thing that was going on in this house, but I turned to this girl who was a friend of mine, and I said, what are you doing with this Ouija board? And she goes, oh, I got it at a flea market. And I said, are you serious right now? And she said, yeah, I bought it. I thought it was it had cute vibes. And I said, what in God's name are you doing with this Ouija board? Why would you pick this thing up? Now, this was like she had a mirror in a dark area. Her dresser had the things that would like they could go up and down. They would be in her room and they would be down, then they'd be up, then they'd be down, and she'd fix them and she'd keep coming back. She had one of those little elf doors in her closet. Like the freakiest stuff was going on in this house. She was having very dark shadows pass by in her bedroom, and there was something standing in the corner all the time. I said, first you have to get rid of the mirror from the darkest corner. I don't care if you get rid of it or put it in some place that has light, but it's in the wrong spot. That little elf door, that thing, you should probably like tape it up and never see it again. It's really weird. The freaking Ouija board, you cannot just go out and pick stuff like that up at like whatever flea market you go to. You have no idea whose energy is in this thing.
Nope.
She
I
goes,
do it all the time.
she goes, but she's not like you, Jeff. That's the thing. She doesn't go out buying stuff like this all the time. She goes, but it was it was cute. It had cute energy. I said, how often do you use this? She goes, when I have time. I said, who do you use it with? Myself. Do you say goodbye to it? She goes, no, I mean, like, I'll use it a little bit, and then when I'm finished, I put it away. Like, doesn't listen to any of the rules. And then there was really bad energy in the basement. There were meat hooks hanging from the ceiling.
What?
I got more question. Why the fuck? Sorry. Do you have meat hooks hanging from your ceiling? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It gets worse because there were also drainage things in the floor. And the other side of the basement, the entire concrete side of the basement was dug up. And she just bought the house.
Well,
was
I mean, they were hanging something there, draining blood. Yeah. Hey, it doesn't mean it was people. It could have been. I mean,
by John Wayne Gacy. Jesus.
Yeah, it could be just people having beef or whatever. That maybe it was a farm or something, and but still.
Was it in the
No.
city?
She told me, oh, they were just making soprasada over here.
What?
Soprasada.
What's that?
That's the pork thigh. Italians make it. It's like they dry the meat. It's a dry salted meat that the Italians make. It's very expensive too.
There was no smell of that kind of meat in the basement.
It's like a cold cut.
Yeah, there was. She said they were also making wine, and that's why they had the drains on the floor. If you're making wine, you're not draining it into the floor.
Hey, you know what it is? It's the mob. They're getting rid of their people. You know what I'm saying? They cut them, drain them, and then send them away.
Right before they moved, they dug up the basement floor.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
No. But the Ouija board had cute energy. Don't forget that. On to Ozzy.
Ozzy. That's cool. That's very.
If I ever get to meet Ozzy, I still want him to sign this.
Wait, are they bats in the corners? Oh my God! That's his face. I love this one.
They actually sold this one at Ozfest.
As they should have. Why just get a sweatshirt?
Did they get a planchette for that too?
Yes, it's just a regular Ouija. It's a black.
It's vampire tea.
Just regular.
It was made by. So, like I said, I probably had the date wrong when Hasbro took over, and I was, because this was made by Hasbro in 2011.
Okay.
I thought I had the wrong date, and I did. This just proved it.
I don't even know how you had most of those dates correct. I would never get that.
Ozzy.
I love that.
Trying to memorize so much info and trying to put it in my head.
Well, if it puts it into perspective for you, Ozzy wouldn't have remembered that.
You'd be surprised what Ozzy might remember.
He never forgets a word to his song and any of his music. He can't talk on TV, but you put his him on that stage.
He's been singing them for 70 years. How do you not forget?
70 years.
I'm sorry.
68.
I love you.
Back to it.
Oh my God, what is this one?
This one's one they called another Mystifying
Mystifying
Oracle.
Oracle. I love this one.
And this is
so
made
pretty.
by
Nice.
the Victorian Trading Company.
This is my favorite, I think.
Yo, Maureen, you could look at the time. We could go all night.
I know.
I'm almost
Yeah.
I'm almost done with all the boards I got out. I still got a stack about like
We only got like 20 minutes left.
So, okay, everyone, this is
What
part
time is
1 of 7.
Wait, is it seriously 9:42 already?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said
I was
this.
scared I was gonna run out of material to talk about.
Oh, no.
See, never, and now this place. Do you know where you going to be? Where can these people see you next? And how can I get in touch with you to get some of these boards? Because you got me out with all this, serial killer boards, and
Well,
That's a great idea, honestly.
well, I have a whole list of places we're gonna be, and it's on my Facebook page and on our Instagram. I wonder if I can go to it without losing.
Do you have a website or just Facebook and Instagram?
I do not have a website right this second.
Okay. So since you'll probably run out of, because you can only be allowed to have so many followers on Facebook, what's your Instagram?
Jeff Traveling Boards.
Okay. That makes it easy enough. So I will put that up on this page that we're on right now.
Also, our like page on Facebook is Jeff Traveling Boards of Wonders.
Jeff's Traveling Boards.
I'm just gonna flash through them. Boom.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'd like to see you. Wish we had more time.
Oh,
Look
I
at
have
that.
so
That's
many boards. I can just keep pulling them out. Like I got a stack of here right now that's probably about 4 feet tall.
Oh,
Wow.
that's interesting. How old is that one?
This is actually, I actually have the cliff notes right here for it. My buddy Bill Bryan, which you guys probably know.
Mm-hmm.
He and Tanya from Empty Casket Paranormal sent this to me. It was created originally by E.J. Bond. Toys and Games. Patent.
Wait, that guy was part of the Kennard.
Yep. But according to what Bill Bryan's sent to me, like he sent me like all the information to it.
Bill's very smart.
Yes, he is. Where was that piece of paper that he sent to me? Like he has all the different. Supposedly, this board was never created.
What?
really.
Idea they had. He actually sent it to me for Christmas. He goes, "Hope you like this board that was never made, not officially, anyways."
That was sweet.
And he made it and sent it to me.
Oh, wow.
And I will have all this documentation with it too at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash for anybody that wants to read it.
Very cool.
When I do a show in my trailer, I can't always have all the documentation. So like when I can set up inside, there's going to be way more information, way more stuff to see than when you just see me with a trailer and our merchandise that helps us get to point A to point B, paying for gas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people are like, "But you're a vendor." No, I'm not a vendor. I am a museum. I'm a history. It's artwork. But they're like, "Well, you sell stuff. Do you know what I get for gas mileage hauling this to wherever I go?"
I can imagine.
Like
Got that big ass truck.
with just hotel rooms, we spent over $1,000 just on
Wow.
hotel rooms to show you
Holy
everybody. And a lot of shows will charge me up. The max I've been charged was like $300 just to show off my boards, and I don't charge anybody to see them. It's more of an attraction for the events I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's why we sell the merch, to help cover the booth costs or room, to help pay for gas, to help pay for food while we're there, to help. It's not like we're making anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
The gypsy. She's pretty.
That's nice.
Or Day of the Dead.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to flash through them because I know you're running out of time. The wolf.
There you go, Anthony.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love wolves. That is so nice.
Are drawn to this one, and they're like, "Can I buy that off you?"
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, that is very nice. Where'd you get that? I might have to look it up.
eBay.
Okay. Enough said.
It's not a common one. I've only seen 2 up for sale, and I bought one of them. But if I find another one, I'll snag it and I'll let you have it.
Cool.
Season of the Witch.
That's nice.
I love all things Halloween.
That is very cool.
Like, I don't even have all my boards out right now, but I got the glow in the dark one from 1998.
Oh, that's cool.
Then here's another Swami. This one is from 2015 when China remade it.
It's probably got COVID all over it.
Not from 2015.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little bitter. I've had COVID 5 times now.
You need to buy a lottery ticket.
No shit.
I've had it once. Here's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy.
Oh, cool.
Here is a 1910E. As you can see, this one is pretty beat up as well. Missing pieces here.
But for 1910, I mean, it made it longer than the Titanic.
That is true.
I'm filled with jokes tonight.
1910. It's
Here's one.
old wood.
Ooh.
That's wow.
Who that is?
Is that a leprechaun?
Aleister Crowley.
I was going to guess the Candyman, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got. I'm looking at it with my magnifying glass.
oh yeah,
Are
You kidding me?
Alice.
I can't. See, I got a little. I got it. I'm on my phone here.
Oh God, I hate
Oh,
her.
the nun.
None.
You can't say you don't have none.
So bad.
Hold on, I got another cool one I can show you guys too.
And
You
then,
show all the cool stuff.
and then I looked away. My phone's on, so I can like just answer with one response instead of 80. And then she's on my phone. Oh wow!
Wow.
Is that resin?
No, this is made with uranium glass.
Oh.
Wow.
The planchette is
That's
even
nice.
made with
It's so thin.
heated uranium glass.
Oh my God.
And if I had a black light right now, which when I have an inside booth, this will be on display with a black light on it, lighting it up.
Oh wow! So it kind of glows.
Oh, it glows. It glows big time.
That's amazing. See, now I thought the other one was my favorite, but I think then that was my favorite. Cryptique.
Yeah. Anybody know who made this board?
No idea.
Robert Murch.
Hmm.
His name was part of that group too.
Well, Robert Murch is the owner of the Salem Witchboard Museum.
There was a merch. Wait, there was a merch involved, or maybe I was just reading and.
Oh, he is. He's part of. He knows the Flood family pretty well.
Wow.
I'm still baffled where that other board went.
So as soon as you hang up with us, you're gonna be like, it's gonna appear.
Yeah, let's hopefully not. It doesn't work that way. Because like right after I get off here with you guys, I'm going on to TikTok live with a bunch of people.
So, well, it's almost time, Maureen, don't you think?
I think it is. So shall
We
we?
hate to see this end because we had a good time tonight. It was
It's been a
very
lot of
interesting.
fun.
That was a good one. Jeff,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being with us. It was a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll definitely be seeing you at the next. We're going to see you probably at Penhurst, Para Unity, Gettysburg. The
There's a lot of different shows coming up. I'll be at, especially I think there's
Sleepy Hollow.
I won't be at Sleepy Hollow as much as I'd like to be.
Hmm.
I'm trying to do more shows where I can set up inside versus outside. I'm trying to get away from the trailer.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And also because I want to get a camper so I can avoid hotel costs.
Good idea. Very good idea.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Well, we hope to see you very soon. And it was lovely having you with us. It was super educational, but it was really fun too. And you're always welcome back. We would love to see more from you. I mean, it went too fast. It really did. This was.
It didn't even seem like almost 2.5
I know. It went so fast. We loved having you with us.
Like,
and oh my gosh.
We went
through a lot of boards today.
Holy.
We really did. It didn't seem like that. But Bobby's show is on at 10 o'clock. So he has about 7 minutes to hurry his little butt up. And in the meantime, we are here every Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 East Coast time PM. I am Maureen Grodzinski, otherwise known as a Little Witchy, and this is Dimensions of the Supernatural. I will let my amazing co-host Anthony Simonelli, otherwise known as Mr. Forget About It, take us out. Anthony.
Okay. I want to say to you guys, like I always say, be safe out there because you want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Okay. And you guys check out Jeff when he comes around. You got to check out his stuff there, the planchette and everything, and be cool. Okay, I just want to say, forget about it. Ciao. Good night.
Good night, everyone.